with the ICC system and R3 system, we have to do the lot of investment in our hardware as well as the software. But now the things has changed. Uh, we have the option how we have to go, how we have to deploy the SAP system. It may be our premise system in the premise like that earlier. We are purchasing the server and all those things, and we are keeping it in our office, and through that we on that server we are implementing the SAP. But now the cloud and cloud is there, cloud, and we are just hiring the space, and we are giving only the rent of rent, and based on our uses to the service provider, and we are able to implement the system on that space, and we are able to work. So a lot of investment has been reduced due to this reason.
Yeah, Mr.
Currently,
Jaji,
yeah,
Mr. Jaji, my screen must be visible.
yeah, okay. Now,
Okay.
second thing is that the cloud is just a minute. Can you give me control, sir? Is this feature is there? Even I can directly go to the next slide.
No, you tell me. Control
Okay,
giving will be slightly difficult now.
okay,
When you say next slide, I will go to the
okay.
next slide.
Next slide, sir.
Yeah.
I have already explained. Yeah. So this is the deployment. I was talking about the one is the premise, another is the cloud. The cloud right now, Amazon is there, Microsoft is there, Azure is there. These are the companies which is providing the space in the cloud server, and we are able to utilize this one. Third one is the hybrid. What is the hybrid? Hybrid is nothing but it is a combination of premises and the cloud system. What are the things where we have to let's say we have some legacy system or R3 system, and we want to keep our the process previous process as it is. In that case, we have to deploy the premises, because in cloud we cannot do the lot of changes and lot of development. That one is the basically that one is the control by the SAP, and every quarter SAP updating their release in the cloud-based system, public cloud system. And EG adoption. That is the second next features of the S4 HANA system. What is the EG adoption? Basically, thing is that SAP is providing right now the guided configuration and EG boarding and all those things features are already available in the system. If you go through that one, we have to do the less configuration in the system, and based on our SAP standard best practice, we are able to implement those process in our business scenario itself. Next slide, please, sir. Yeah. Now I'm coming to the organizational structure. Uh, that means the in SAP organization structure, how it's working. The first is that the top level is the client. Client, that is nothing but just like it is a separate set, where just like the house. Just like take the example of the apartment. That means the all the facility are within that boundary. Okay, all the separate sets of if we are going to explain the client, so that means the it is the separate set where all the table and the programs are there. Second, next is the below the client. Next is the operating concern. Operating concern is basically for the sales related thing, and here we are calculating the profitability based on the different segment. That I will explain you later after this slide. Next is the controlling area. Controlling area is just umbrella where all the controlling cost and revenue related informations are stored there. Now it coming to the chart of account. Fiscal year. The chart of account is nothing but the group of the GL accounts. Okay, where we are creating all the GL account in a chart of account. Okay, fiscal year variant is just It is the fiscal year, that is the financial year in our terminology. And in SAP terminology, we call it as a fiscal year. In India, we are using the April to March, and for the other country, we are using the January to December. Same things we have to configure in the fiscal year variant. And fiscal year variant, basically, there are two types. One is the year dependent, and another one is the year independent. Year dependent, that means we are following the calendar year. That means starting from the January and ending on December. That is based on the generally US company and all the MNCs companies following that that things. But for our local requirement, we have to meet even MNC companies there. We have to meet our local requirement. That is for our local requirement. Fiscal year will be April to March. That is the thing. Segment and profit center. Segment is just coming above the profit center, and as per our Indian accounting standard, we have to do the segment reporting to the for our external purpose. For that, SAP has introduced the segment. Earlier, we are using the business area for the segment reporting. Even that business area is currently also existing, but person are not using that one, and instead of business area we are using the segment. Okay, company code. What is the company code? Now it is the important thing, and we have to understand for the organization where we have to create the company code. We have to get basically company code is the separate legal entity. We have to see how many legal entity are there, where it is a single one or it is a multiple one. Second one is that system. The system, sorry, where server is a separate server, just like I am giving the example of cell. In the cell, every plant level has every plant has their own server. That means it is not we have not implemented the SAP at the cell level, so that every legal company code we have created at the plant level. Okay, and below that we have defined our org structure. Then it is coming to the cost center, cost object. Okay, cost center, everyone knows that where the costs are accumulated or costs are incurred. That one is the known as the cost center. Cost object basically is the internal order, and it is just like the simple term. I can say the cost object is just like the cost center, and it is the another parameter to analyze the cost. Cost just like the production order, internal order, sales order, like that, where we have accumulated the cost, incurred the cost, sorry, incurred the cost. And then from the these are the basically things from the FICO perspective. Now it is from the side, purchase organization, plant and storage location are there. Then from the SD side, sales organization, plant and division are there. This is the thing for the org structure. Next slide, sir, please. Next slide, please, sir.
Next slide is already on.
Yeah. It is the same thing, same definition I have mentioned, so that you people are able to understand. Yeah, I've got. Yeah. So what is the org structure? Basically, it is the structure mapped to the SAP application using the organization unit, and organization unit handle the specific business function. Now, client, I have told you that it is the highest level in the SAP system hierarchy. It is specified and made the data entered at each level are valid for all company code and for all the organizational structure, avoiding the need of to enter the information more than once. So just I am giving the example like our customers or vendors. There are three segments there. for the when we are talking about the vendor, there are three segments. One is the general segment, second one is the company code specific segment, and third one is the purchase organization segment. The information which is stored in the general segment, that is stored at the uh, client level. So that means that vendor code we can use for the company code itself. What we have to get to extend that code, vendor code to the company code itself. Same is applicable for customer as well. In customer, there are three segments. One is the general, second is the company code, and third one is the sales organization. Okay. So that we have to extend on. Next slide, please, sir. Yeah. Now, company code. As I told you, we are deciding the company code based on the legal entity. It is the smallest organization unit of the financial accounting for which a complete content set of the accounts can be drawn for the purpose of external reporting. That means when it is the legal entity, then we have to go for the external reporting as well, and that's why we need the company code for the external reporting itself. Okay. Now, same thing, the fiscal year variant. Variant is depending upon the relation between the calendar and the fiscal year. There are many posting period. So generally, we are defining the 12 posting period, a normal posting period, and 4 are the special posting period. Okay. In the for a special period, basically that one is the part of the 12 posting period itself. When our year close has done, means let's say March has ended. After that, we have done our some internal adjustment before the auditors have to come. Then we are using the 13 posting period, and if user has provided some suggestion to do some correction, if some mistakes are there, then we are posting as the 14 posting period, and all the 13, 14, 15, 16 are the part of the 12 posting period itself. So whatever the posting we are doing in that posting period, that will contain comes under the 12 itself. That means all the fiscal year posting 1 to 13 will be part of the that financial year only. Now segment, as I told you, it is the for the
Jaji,
our segmental reporting.
Jaji,
Yes, yes.
एक minute. Friends, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Jha was explaining about this posting period, 12 posting period and a special period and all. I hope everybody got it. Otherwise, we can again re-explain. Anybody needs any clarification? Can you please tell us? Because we will have to stop at this point because this is a very important thing. I will explain why it becomes important from the audit point of view. In fact, it can be financial audit or cost audit, whatever it is. But I want to know whether everybody understood what is being now talked about in the posting period, fiscal year variant. Everybody understood, or we need some more explanation?
Sir, once again explain, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? See, Mr. Jha was explaining about a special period, and he was explaining about the 13th month, 14th month, 15th month, 16th month. See, these kind of a special period has come because we can't close the account of April to March in March. Jaji, you correct me whenever I go wrong. Okay, yes, April to March cannot be done in March itself. So we take another 3-4 months. Normally, some companies finish it within 2 months. Some companies are supposed to do within 4 months. So the special period are given to close your accounts, and it is only for year-end posting. It is not for monthly posting. We give 4 months. Okay. If time permits, we will show in the next session when we do the configuration for monthly posting also, what kind of allowance that we will have to give, that we will definitely look at it. But please be informed that this special period, when the configuration, if the implementation partner has configured as 4 or 5 or 3, then please understand, if it is 3, you will be able to pass the year-end entries till June. If it is 4, you can pass till July. So as a person who is going to, let us say, audit or who is going to look at the improvement to be made in the accounting or in the costing system, this special period also will be very important for you to check. How to check the special period, how to go and check that and all, we will see at the next time. Is that clear to everyone? Because these are all some of the, for people who have not worked in SAP, this could be some of the new terms. So that is why I thought I will stop here and then explain once more. Can we proceed? Can somebody say yes? Then Mr. Jha can proceed. Because we are in the screen sharing, so we can't see you. So people have to answer verbally. We can proceed. Somebody may please see that, then we will proceed.
Yeah, yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhakar Saab. Yeah, Mr. Jha, you may please proceed. I'm going on mute.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now, next topic is the segment. As I told you, it is the segmental for the segmental reporting, and that is the requirement for as per our Indian standard accounting standard. And in the accounting, as per the accounting standard, we can divide our business based on the business product wise or even the geographical wise. Okay, and based on that, we can define our segment and add the also to extract our profit loss account. I'm explaining because maybe some non-commerce person are also there. So that's why I'm explaining in the detail what is the Schedule 6. Otherwise, we can simply say the financial report, that is the balance sheet and the profit loss account, we are able to extract at the segment level and even at the profit center level also. Yeah. Next slide, please, sir. Now
I have
coming to
put
the
chart of accounts. I have put.
okay. Yeah, I have seen. Now, as I explain you, the chart of account is nothing but the group of the GL account, general ledger account. And there are three types of chart of account. First one is the operating chart of account. Then second one is the country specific chart of account, and third one is the group chart of account. What is the operating chart of account? Now, where we are actually posting our document, our journal entry, our invoice, all the GLs are containing under our operating chart of account. And in the operating chart of account, we are linking to our country specific chart of account and the group chart of account. The country specific chart of account is used for the our local company specific legal requirement and all those purpose. And group chart of account is required for the consolidation purpose. Just I am giving the example. Let's say, just taking the example of the sale itself. Earlier, it was the different plant was the different legal entity itself. Later on, it was merged in sale and then it come as a unit of the sale itself. But earlier, it was the suppose let's say earlier when sale has formed, earlier all the plants are the separate legal entity. In that time, we have the specific chart of account. And just instead of sale, because just I am giving the another example of the MNC, just like the take the Tata TCS, or even take the example of the Tata, because if we are taking the example of Tata, we are able to explain you all the things here. The operating chart of account, that means where they are posting the document, journal entry and all the things. Country specific chart of account, there are a lot of Tata organization which is already in India, even in abroad also, just like the take the example of Thailand, there are so many TCS is there, Tata Motors is there, okay. Tata Steel is there, subsidiary of the Tata Steel is there. Uh, okay. So these are the country. So if we are going to present the consolidated GL account at the country level, then we need the country specific chart of account. And second is the group chart of account. It is nothing but we have to consolidate at the consolidation level. So suppose when we are preparing the balance sheet at the Tata Sons level, that one is the Tata Sons is the highest level of the company, and all the company of the Tata are coming under that hierarchy itself. Okay, that one is the top one, Tata Sons Limited. And all are the part of all are the succeeding company are the subsidiary of the Tata Sons itself. When we are talking about at the Tata Sons level, when we have to prepare the reports, then we need the group chart of account. Yeah. Any queries here? Anyone has any issue? Any queries here to understand the chart of account and different purpose of chart of account?
Any doubt? Or can we proceed, please? He had explained why we should have 3 chart of accounts: group, country, and individual company. Anything else? Can we proceed, please? Can somebody answer? Can we proceed? Yeah, I think you may proceed, Judge.
Okay, next lecture.
Operating concern.
Yeah, operating concern basically I have it is the sales market structure where we are we are structuring the things to extract the report for the segment reporting. That means for the sales point of view, we are grouping the segment and how we are deriving the segment based on our characteristics. And what is the characteristic? Characteristic may be the product group, characteristic may be the customer group, characteristic may be the company or the distribution channel. These are the things. Based on that, we are able to derive the profitability segment, and based on that segment, we are able to derive which segment is performing better than the other segment. Now, controlling area. Controlling area is the organization within a company used to represent the closed system for the cost accounting purpose. In the controlling area, it is the umbrella where all the costs and revenue are accumulated for our costing purpose. If we are talking about the controlling area and cost controlling, there are only two things. That means the cost and revenue. That means the only PL items are coming under the controlling area, not the balance sheet items are coming under the controlling area. Okay. Now, next slide, please, sir. Profit center. Earlier, profit center was the part of the controlling, but now in ECC and even in the S/4HANA system, profit center has come under the node of the financial accounting itself. So now it is the part of the financial accounting. But even if we are discussing or even we will analyze the things, we are able to find that the profit center is just for our internal purpose. It is the individual responsibility center where we can monitor and control the things. It is a part of controlling itself, but in the system point of view, SAP system point of view, it is the part of financial. But functionally, still it is the part of the CO only, controlling only, for the controlling purpose only. Okay. Now cost center, it is the cost center, simple language, we can say it is the responsibility center where all the person are responsible for incurring all the costs. Okay, and profit center is just giving the bookish exam definition. It is the profit center where we are accumulating the cost, revenue as well as the profit, and person are responsible for the profit itself. Okay, so that cost center based on that functional requirement, allocation criteria, and physical location responsibility for the cost. These are the things. Based on this definition, we can define the cost center in our system as well. Okay. Next slide, please, sir. Yeah, cost object. Basically, it is just like the cost center. Another cost objects are also available in the system to track the things individually or at the minute level. In the for the production, sorry, sorry, just like the for the PP and production planning, cost object are related to production order, product cost collector, process order. These are the these are the objects where we are incurring all the cost related to our production. Same as the sales order item, where we are accumulating the order specific cost or revenue in that sales order items level. Okay, apart from that, other objects are also there. Internal order, WBS nothing but the work breakdown structure which we are using in the project system. Okay, next slide, please, sir. Yeah, whatever the explain till now I have explained, that is the part of the FICO org structure itself. Now I am coming to the MM org structure. So, from the MM point of view, purchase top level is the purchase organization, and top level is the company code. Under the company code, purchase organization is there. Under the purchase organization, plant is there, and under the plant, different storage location are there where we are storing uh, the stocks or material, raw material. Okay. Purchase organization is the logistic unit where company structure the structure the company according to the purchase requirement. It may be the central procurement, central purchase. We can define the one purchase org as a central procurement, and one another purchase organization for the unit specific requirement. So we can create the purchase or many purchase or in a single company code itself, and we can assign the purchase org to the different plant itself. Okay. Even we can assign the same plant to the different purchase org also, so that we are able to meet the specific thing, which procurement we have to procure from the central purchase org or which we have to procure from the our local or our unit specific purchase org. And second thing is that what is the plant? The plant is just a place where material are produced, goods and services are provided. The here the thing definition of the plant. In the plant, in a factory, we can say the factory. Factory is just like a plant in SAP system. Okay, and sometimes we are also creating the virtual plant in our system to meet the users' requirement and to meet the to map their business requirement or business process. A storage location where we are various types of stocks we are keeping in the organization itself. That is called the storage location. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. Yeah, sales organization, sales and division. These are the two things which is coming under the ST side. That is the sales and distribution side. And top node is the company code. Under the company code, sales org will be there and sales division will be there. Okay, so it is the sales organization is responsible for selling of the material and the services which company are basically selling. Okay, and division is the based on that based on the responsibility for the sales or profit from a sellable materials or services. It is called the division. That means we can say the different division. That means the for a single company code, there are different types of product and different. We can define the different types of product as the different division itself, and we can analyze it. Okay, next slide, please, sir. Yes, sir. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Any questions? Any queries?
Mr. Bhaskaran, if you are talking, we are not able to hear you. Any questions from anyone? Yeah, anyone has, because today we thought we will familiarize you with the organization structure of SAP, because this will be the most important thing before we proceed to the navigation and all. Navigation, even by giving a T code, anybody can navigate in case he knows the T code. But how an organization is structured, how things are working in an organization is very important. That is why we just thought we will talk about organization structure today. And the recording of this will be in the YouTube. So in case you want to re-see it, you can always re-see it. Bhaskaran is asking at which level a balance sheet can be prepared.
Yeah, there are two things. One thing is that for the external purpose or for our internal purpose, two things are there. For the external purpose, we have to extract the balance sheet or profit loss account at the company code level. Okay, and for our internal purpose, we can extract the balance sheet and profit loss account at the segment level, business area level, or profit center level itself.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Can you tell me controlling area once more, please?
Yeah,
Uh,
just I'm explaining you. Controlling area nothing but it is the just like the umbrella. If I am giving the example of umbrella, what is that? There is a central place where all their things are accumulated. The controlling area nothing but where all the costs and revenue are accumulated. It is what you are going to control. So basically, either you have to control the cost or you have to increase the revenue. You cannot say that we have to pay the some vendor to the 1,000 rupees. I will, due to cost reduction, I will pay him 900 only. You cannot do that like that. Okay. So if we are talking about the controlling, so what we can control, either we can reduce the cost or increase the revenue. These are the two things we have to do. All the cost and revenue are accumulated under the controlling area, and through that controlling area we are able to analyze the cost and we are able to analyze the revenue.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had a feedback from Mr. Gopalakrishnan and from Mr. Trivengadam. I'll just go through that. Mr. Mahadeva and Gopalakrishnan has said that was a good overview. Next session will go into the next level transaction details, which is very important. And Trivengadam sir has said, good presentation, covered all the key aspects with practicality in view. Thank you. And can budgeting be prepared at controlling area? That is what Mr. Bhaskaran is asking.
Now, two things is that in budgeting, which types of budget you are saying, that is the required things. If you are talking about the project specific budget, then we can do in project we are able to prepare the budget, or we can control the budget at the WBS level itself.
WBS is work breakdown structure. We will see it in the next
One
session when
thing.
we talk about other transactions. Yeah, Mr. Jha.
Second one,
Jha, your voice is breaking.
yes, that is the obvious. We are hello.
Yeah, can you just repeat it, Jha, what you are telling? Because it went off. Jaji? Jaji, your voice is off.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Jha. His network is having a problem. It's rotating.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, to some extent. Please go ahead. Repeat. Okay, I think there is a network issue with Mr. Jha.
Hello. Today is
Now it's better.
yeah. able okay हाँ सर उसको ऐसा कीजिए ना सर फीडबैक ओके ओके
Yeah, please, Jaji, please speak.
Now, question is budgeting. At which level we have to budget the budget in our company?
Are we able to hear Mr. Jaw?
Yeah, I am able to hear you.
Okay, fine. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thing is that if it is a project a specific budget, suppose we have to take the budget at the project level, then project system is there, we can track the budget at the WBS level, and we can do the work breakdown structure, and for the each work breakdown structure, our total budget will be also splitted for each work breakdown structure, and through that we are able to monitor the things. On the asset side, suppose internal order is also there. That is also one of the cost object. At the internal order level, we can also track the budget. Just like the cost center, we are creating the internal order, and through that we are able to track the budget. Second, now these are the things which comes under the FICO module. Now, if we are talking about the fund management is a separate module apart from the FICO. CO. If we are talking about the fund management, there we can do the budgeting or the procurement budget, operational budget, and all the things. It is not like that for the only project or only specific to the assets. We have to do the budgeting. There we can do the capex budgeting as well. There we can do our procurement budget. There we can do our operational budget as well.
Yeah. I think it was clear. Any other question, please, from anyone? Because of this network, I have put on mobile to him so that he is answering through mobile so that you will be able to hear. Any other thing? Maximum number of segments that can be used.
Maximum number of
Segments that can be used.
There is n number of segments we can use.
Okay. So that is the answer, n number.
Yeah. N number basically it is the 6 character. That means 6 times 9 we can use.
Okay, fine. Very good.
Okay, so that's why I have put the n number.
Okay.
Because in the practical scenario, that much number is not required itself.
Okay, thank you. Any other question from anyone? Before we close, is there any other question? Because I will just show you something else which I shown in the beginning. Then I said after Mr. Jaw clears, then we will see it again. So before we close, let me have a look at it so that Mr. Jaw can explain. I'll just hold on for a second.